What is a cargo tank? What is a portable tank? Bulk packaging marking, loading, and unloading. The glossary at the end of this section gives the meaning of the word bulk. Cargo tanks are bulk packaging permanently attached to a vehicle. Cargo tanks remain on the vehicle when you load and unload them. Portable tanks are bulk containers that are not permanently attached to a vehicle. The product is loaded or unloaded while the portable tanks are off the vehicle. Portable tanks are then put on a vehicle for transportation. There are many types of cargo tanks in use. The most common cargo tanks are MC306 for liquids and MC331 for gases. The identification number must appear on each side and each end of a portable tank or other bulk packaging that holds markings. Portable tanks must also show the lessee or owner's name. They must also display the shipping name of the contents on two opposing sides. The letters of the shipping name must be at least 2 inches tall on portable tanks with capacities of more than 1,000 gallons and 1 inch tall on portable tanks with capacities of less than 1,000 gallons. The identification number must appear on each side and each end of a portable tank or other bulk packaging that holds 1,000 gallons or more, and at two opposing sides if the portable tank holds less than 1,000 gallons. The identification numbers must still be visible when the portable tank is on the motor vehicle. If they are not visible, you must display the identification number on both sides and ends of the motor vehicle. A person watching the loading and unloading of a cargo tank must tank loading. The person in charge of loading and unloading a cargo tank must be sure a qualified person is always watching. This person watching the loading or unloading must be alert, have a clear view of the target tank, be within 25 feet of the tank, know of the hazards of the materials involved, know the procedures to follow in an emergency, be authorized to move the cargo tank and able to do so, close all manholes and valves before moving a tank of hazardous materials, no matter how small the amount in the tank or how short the distance. Manholes and valves must be closed to prevent leaks. When filling or unloading a flammable liquid tank, a must be maintained until after closing the filling hole. Turn off your engine before loading or unloading any flammable liquids unless flammable liquids. Turn off your engine before loading or unloading any flammable liquids. Only run the engine if needed to operate a pump. Ground a cargo tank correctly before filling it through an open filling hole. Ground the tank before opening the filling hole and maintain the ground until after closing the filling hole. Never park within feet of the traveled part of the road. Except for short periods of time needed for vehicle operation necessities, i.e., fueling, do not park within 300 feet of parking with Division 11, 12, or 13 Class A or B explosives. Never park with Division 11, 12, or 13 Class A or B explosives within 5 feet of a traveled part of the road. Except for short periods of time needed for vehicle operation necessities, do not park within 300 feet of a bridge, tunnel, or building, a place where people gather, or an open fire. When driving a vehicle carrying explosives, 11, 12, or 13, when is one allowed to leave the vehicle unattended? Safe haven. You are allowed to leave your vehicle unattended in a safe haven. A safe haven is an approved place for parking unattended vehicles loaded with explosives. Local authorities usually make designations of authorized safe havens. If you must leave a placarded vehicle on the public roadway, the person attending a placarded vehicle must attending parked. The person attending a placarded vehicle must be a qualified person who will comply with all requirements, be in the vehicle, awake and not in the sleeper berth or within 100 feet of the vehicle and have it within clear view. Be aware of hazards of the materials being transported, know what to do in emergencies, and be able to move the vehicle if needed. Which signals may be used to warn of a stopped vehicle which contains explosives? Never use burning signals such as around a tank used for Class 3 flammable liquids or Division 2-1 flammable gas, whether loaded or empty. No flares. You might break down and have to use stopped vehicle signals. Use reflective triangles or red electric lights. Never use burning signals such as flares or fuses around a tank used for Class 3 flammable liquids or Division 2-1 flammable gas, whether loaded or empty, or vehicle loaded with Division 1-1, 1-2, or 1-3 Class A, B explosives. The is responsible for finding out if you need permits or must use special routes. You are going to be hauling hazardous materials over a route you do not know well. When should you check the route and the permits needed for the trip? Route restrictions. Some states and counties require permits to transport hazardous materials or wastes. They may limit the routes you can use. Local rules about routes and permits change often. It is your job as a driver to find out if you need permits or must use special routes. Make sure you have all needed papers before starting. If you work for a career, ask your dispatcher about route restrictions or permits. If you are an independent trucker and are planning a new route, check with state agencies where you plan to travel. Some localities prohibit transportation of hazardous materials through tunnels, over bridges, or other roadways. Check before you start. Never drive a placarded vehicle near open fires unless route restrictions. Whenever placarded, avoid heavily populated areas, crowds, tunnels, narrow streets, and alleys. Take other routes, even if inconvenient, unless there is no other way. Never drive a placarded vehicle near open fires unless you can safely pass without stopping. Do not smoke or carry a lighted cigarette, cigar, or pipe within 25 feet of any vehicle which contains. No smoking. Do not smoke within 25 feet of a placarded cargo tank used for Class 3 flammable liquids or Division 2-1 gases. Also, do not smoke or carry a lighted cigarette, cigar, or pipe within 25 feet of any vehicle which contains Class 1 explosive, Class 4 flammable solid, Class 3 flammable liquid, or 5-1 oxidizer. The power unit of a placarded vehicle must have a fire extinguisher with a 10 BC fire extinguisher. The power unit of a placarded vehicle must have a fire extinguisher with a UL rating of 10 BC or more.